वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada Vinoda ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande ki, all glories to Samud devotees, all glories to Samud devotees, all glories to Samud devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru Bhakti, all glories, all glories. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 10, text 2. Name viduhu suraganaha prabhavam namaharshaya ahamadirihi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. We are reading from chapter 10, text 2. Please repeat. Name viduhu suraganaha prabhavam namaharshaya ahamadirihi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences. For in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. Purport as stated in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. No one is greater than Him. He is the cause of all causes. Here it is also stated by the Lord personally that He is the cause of all the demigods and sages. Even the demigods and great sages cannot understand Krishna. They can understand neither his name nor his personality. So what is the position of the so-called scholars of these tiny planets? No one can understand why this supreme God comes to earth as an ordinary human being and executes such wonderful, uncommon activities. One should know then that scholarship is not the qualification necessary to understand Krishna. Even the demigods and the great sages have tried to understand Krishna by their mental speculation, and they have failed to do so. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also it is clearly said that even the great demigods are not able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They can speculate to the limits of their imperfect senses and can reach the opposite conclusion of impersonalism, of something not manifested by three qualities of material nature. Or they can imagine something by mental speculation, but it is not possible to understand Krishna by such foolish speculation. Here the Lord indirectly says that if anyone wants to know the absolute truth, here I am present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am the Supreme. One should know this. Although one cannot understand the inconceivable Lord who is personally present, he nonetheless exists. We can actually understand Krishna, who is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, simply by studying his words in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The conception of God as some ruling power or as the impersonal Brahman can be reached by persons who are in the inferior energy of the Lord. But the personality of Godhead cannot be conceived unless one is in the transcendental position. Because most men cannot understand Krishna in his actual situation. Out of his causeless mercy, he descends to show favor to such speculators. Yet despite the Supreme Lord's uncommon activities, these speculators, due to contamination in the material energy, still think that the impersonal Brahman is the Supreme. Only the devotees who are fully surrendered unto the Supreme Lord can understand by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that he is Krishna. The devotees of the Lord do not bother about the impersonal Brahman conception of God. Their faith and devotion bring them to surrender immediately unto the Supreme Lord. And out of the causeless mercy of Krishna, they can understand Krishna. No one else can understand him. So even great sages agree. What is Atma? What is the Supreme? It is he whom we have to worship. Om Tat Sat. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauravakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome to all of you to Lord Jagannath's temple. Today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, text 2. Here Krishna is declaring that Name Vidu Sura Ganaha. That Sura means opposite of Asura. Demons and Devas, two classes of people. Dvau Bhuta Sarga Loke Asmin Deva Asura Evacha. Two types of people, Devas and Asuras. Devas are inclined to follow the instruction of the Lord. Asuras tat viparyeya hai. They will do against what the Lord says. So, amongst the Deva type of people, there are some who occupy demigod, Deva positions in society, in cosmic management. So Krishna is saying, even though they occupy a position like that, Name Vidu, they don't know me. Name Vidu Suragana, the entire host of demigods, they don't know me actually. And not only that, even the Maharshis don't know me. Name Vidu Suragana Prabhavam na Maharshayah. Aham Adirhi Devanam. I am the source of the demigods. Maharshinam cha Sarvashaka. And also the great munis and sages, I am their source. So it's very important to know. Aham Adirhi Devanam. I am the source of all the devatas. I am Adi Devata. I am the original Devata. From me only come all the Devatas. So very powerful statement made here by Krishna. He also going to say, Name Vidu Suragana. They don't know me. So what to speak of you and me? That's the question Prabhupada is answering. And what to speak of people who go around saying that I am God? They go around saying, I am God. One thing is to know me, then is to know God. But if somebody says, I am God, it shows he does not know himself and he does not know God. Because it is listed separately. God is separate, you are separate. Whole second chapter, Krishna spent trying to teach Arjuna, who are you? Scientifically, rationally, logically, philosophically, everything he taught in that. Then he goes ahead further, very step by step, nicely, gradually, to explain who God is. Then he says, incidentally, I am that God. You asked God only that question. But you are my friend also. So, Bhaktosine Sakha Cheti Rahasyam Ki Etad Uttamam. Because you are treating me like friend and now you have become distressed and you have accepted me as Guru. And you are asking my question, who is God? I want to tell you, I am that God. But I happen to be your friend also in this Leela. Right? So I want to tell you first, who are you? First lesson that Krishna gave Arjuna, when he said, I am disturbed, why is Dronacharya standing in front of me? I cannot fight, it is difficult, this will happen, that will happen, all that. First understand, who are you? The problem is, Arjuna thought he had a problem. Krishna told him, no, you don't have a problem. You are the problem. You don't have a problem. You are the problem. You are from you only creating all the problems. Why? First of all, you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. So the second chapter, 13th chapter, everything Krishna explains, who are you? Very important question. Most people don't even ask this question. Most people don't even ask this question because they don't find it as necessary. They simply go on working from morning to evening, go to office, earn the money, invest the money here, take it out here, lose the money here, come back and cry, then go back and put the money here, take that and buy this, take that, go for this marriage, go for this, do that. One day they die. They have no time to ask any question about what is going on, who am I, nothing. They are kept very busy by material nature and the three modes of nature. So most people don't ask the question, they don't have the time to ask the question. And if you tell them, they'll say, is that necessary? I do not know it's necessary. No, who are you? Swami, you're correct. I think that's a good question. I never asked this question. They don't even know they have to ask this question. What take it Nobel Prize for? They are recognized as some great people and they're very popular and everything, but they don't know very basic information. Who are you? I got Nobel Prize, but you asked me this question, who are you? I'm not able to answer. That is the situation of most people. First, if you don't understand yourself, how will you relatively understand who is God? God is not you, for sure, otherwise you won't be like this. You are not God, for sure. That you know. If you get to know who is God, you will surely know you are not God. But the problem is you don't know yourself, you don't know God also, so all sorts of things you think. So Krishna is giving lesson first, who are you? Then he is coming and teaching who is God. He's teaching here absolute, this is the 10th chapter, it's called the opulence of the absolute. In the 7th chapter, he spoke about knowledge of the absolute. So here, God is not to be simply understood very casually. There is a philosophical understanding, there is a theology, there is a science to understanding who God is. It's not because somebody told you something or your grandmother said something, you went to the temple, you saw God, you came back, and it's not really very important. No. It's the way you have understood it. According to that, you will pay importance to it. You have not been seriously taught and you have not seriously learned. It's a fact. In Bhagavad Gita, you can seriously think about it. You can seriously learn who God is. Because why? God himself is teaching. Krishna himself is teaching who is God. Right? So, here Krishna is saying, first you must understand it's not easy to understand me. Name vidu suraganaha prabhavanti maharshaya. Maharshis, great sages, all great Medhavis cannot understand me. Why? Why? Because they are all under the material nature. If you want to understand me, you must actually understand yourself. And then you must understand me technically, here as I mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Then you must actually become my devotee. Manmana bhavamat bhakta. Then you will understand. Bhaktyamam vijanati. Only my bhakta really understands who I am. So if you want to understand God, you must become a devotee of God. This is the best way to understand God. You cannot simply remain even on the knowledge platform and say, I want to know God. You can get information about God, but you cannot fully understand God. In this chapter, Krishna reveals himself. First he says what he is not, what people popularly think of what he is not. So the subject of God is not simply some casual subject matter. It's not an option that if you want, you can be understanding God. If you don't want, also don't. But it really does not matter in life. It's wrong. It is wrong. Our life becomes more meaningful if we understand who God is. You ask anybody who is trying to understand and who has understood to some extent, and he will tell you, my life has changed. My perception and my perspective of everything has changed. Why? Because I'm getting to know who am I, I'm getting to know who is God, I'm getting to know what is this world. Reality is striking me. What is real? What is the truth? I am understanding. That is why this is called Rajavidya Rajyaguhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam. Krishna says this is the king of knowledge I'm giving you. Rajavidya Rajyaguhyam, the secret of all secrets. Pavitram, very pure. Uttamam, topmost information I'm giving you. So, when we study in colleges and schools and working places and everything, God and understanding ourselves is paid no importance. Because mostly we are working for a section of people who are very, 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 very rich. And the rest of the people work for them. That's how the economy is set up. And in order that you will continue to work for them, you will make it dumb. Then only you will work in a dumb way and then they can make money out of you. And nobody is given information about anything properly. Because if you become intelligent, you will overcome and you will understand the whole scheme of things. But generally speaking, people control you. People control you. And there is a big controlling force behind of that, people who are agents of material nature, Maya. Maya apahrita jnana. Maya. Ma-ya. Ma means this is not. Ya means this. This is not real. Maya means it is false. It is illusion. So when we say he is in Maya, means he does not know what is real. So most of us are in Maya. That's why we do not understand what is truth, what is real. So Krishna is real, God is real, and it is a fact. And if we learn Bhagavad Gita, we'll get to know what is the truth, what is reality. So that's why Krishna is explaining, because Arjuna is asking that question. We are all living from morning to evening, but we don't ask these type of questions. Why am I dying? Why was I born? What am I doing from morning to evening? Is this important? Because I'm going to die any day. What is life about? What's the purpose of life? All these questions, when we start asking, we will actually slowly get educated. We must ask this question. Even though people don't know, most of them, and they don't encourage you to ask this question, you must still ask this question. This is what the Greek philosopher Socrates was saying. You must question. Anything, everything you must question, ask why, what, when, where, how, and then understand it very well. And then do. But a lot of us are trained not to ask questions. Do as I tell you to do. Otherwise you won't get your salary. Do as I tell you to do, otherwise you won't get this, you won't get that. Out of fear, you shut up and you do. Most of the thing is like that. So freedom to ask questions. Athatho Brahma Jignasa. In the Vedanta Sutra it says, since now you have become a human being, which is of high consciousness, Athatho Brahma Jignasa means now is the time for you to start asking questions. Jignasa means inquiry. Ask questions. Asking questions is very, very important. Don't be afraid of asking questions. You must ask questions and you must understand. Only if you ask, you will understand. That's the meaning of a human being. Dog, hog, cat, and all that don't ask questions. They only search for eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Ahara, nitra, praya, maituna. They only find where is food, where is a mate, how to defend it, how to look. That's all they do. This is animal life. But a human being has got intelligence. He will ask questions of why these things are happening to me. He will ask questions why, and you must keep up that questioning attitude, inquiry. Human beings should be always inquisitive to ask questions and get to know. If that quality is lost, you are finished, you become an animal. Our education system, everything stops you from asking all these questions. It stops you from asking these questions. So it's very disadvantageous to the human being. Here, questions are asked by Arjuna. The questions that we must be asking. That's why we can identify it. And the answers are given. Arjuna is asking deep questions. Who am I? Why these things happen to me? What is this world? How does this work? What's the force behind it? Why am I doing things although I don't like to do it? Why am I forced to do it? Why should I fight this war? Yeah, wonderful questions. Wonderful questions. And Krishna is answering the questions. So perfect person asking question, perfect Supreme Lord giving answer. They are all perfect. Perfect questions, perfect answers. That is why if we simply read this question and answer session, we will get to know a lot. We will get to know a lot, simply free. Simply free. So one such wonderful question, which is the quality of a human being, is being asked by Arjuna, and Krishna is answering. And that is, who is God? So in Bhagavad Gita you will see, it is answered. And in many other places also answered. Bhagavad Gita answered in short snippets to the point. The detail of it is also answered in many other places in the Srimad Bhagavatam, etc. The word of God is non-different from God. It is absolute. So therefore we can take these words as it is. They are real. You may not immediately agree with it or understand with it. That doesn't matter. It is reality. It's the truth. Right? So Krishna is explaining what is the meaning of God. It is not just like we know some personality who looks very special, he has special powers, he looks bluish, or somebody who's got elephant hair. They all look special, they don't look like us. Who must be God? So anybody in human society also does something very special, they think you are God. He must be God. No. God specifically mentioned how does he look like, what are his powers, what are his energies, what he does, who he is, everything is mentioned. In Bhagavad Gita, to a great extent, Krishna describes. First thing to understand is the absolute truth. And that supreme absolute truth has three features. God can be understood as a person, which is a full feature. God can be understood as Paramatma. He is expanding himself and situating himself inside everybody's heart, including the ant heart also Paramatma is there. And God can be understood as all-pervading energy, Brahman. He is present, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman. That Brahman energy, that spiritual energy, which sustains everything, is spread everywhere. Is spread everywhere. These three aspects you can understand. Just like you can say, Narendra Modi is Prime Minister of India. But I can personally go get an appointment and see Narendra Modi. Very difficult to personally see him. But it's possible. I have to do a lot of work and see him. Another thing I can do is to actually contact his representatives everywhere. He has got his ministry, he has got his whole establishment and structure. I can contact them. They represent him. And through that I can send a message. The other thing is, Narendra Modi's, the Prime Minister's power and his ruling is felt everywhere, all over India. Many reforms, many things happening, projects taking up, and the judiciary, the police force, there's everything you can see, his power and energy present. Impersonally, means he's personally not present, but his Shakti is there. If you do anything wrong here, you will get arrested. You will get punished. It is that person's Shakti working. Crude example I'm giving. In the same way, God can be understood as Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman. He is present everywhere by his energies. He is also present personally. Goloke Vanivasati Akilatma Bhuto. In the spiritual world, personally, as a person, he is present. He has got his own planet. He has got his mother, father, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda. He has got his friends, Gopas. He has got his girlfriends, Gopis. There are senior ladies. There are senior men. There is a whole kingdom, spiritual kingdom. You can personally see him there also. In this way, we can understand God and his energies and his manifestations. God is a person. Like I told you, he has got his father, mother, everybody. And he is actually available for somebody who wants to meet him and is qualified to meet him personally. It's possible to personally meet God. This is what is explained. Manmana bhavam atpaktaha madhyaji maam namaskuru mame vaishisi satyam te pratijani priyosi. Krishna, God is saying, if you become my devotee, that is, first is to get to know who you are, get to know me, get knowledge about me, and slowly cultivate bhakti, and then become my devotee, then you can have a personal relationship with me. You can personally see me. This is the process for getting to know me personally and meeting with me and having an experience of me. This is mentioned. So people who have knowledge are not enough. They have to get bhakti, devotion to God. And then they'll be very easily able to see God. Why? Because wherever there is bhakti, there is devotion, Krishna, God himself appears there. He is attracted by devotion. He is attracted by his devotees. Devotion attracts Krishna, but knowledge does not attract Krishna so much. Karma, action, work also doesn't attract Krishna so much. You see 4 types of people in this world. People who work, people who cultivate knowledge, people who sit and meditate, people who engage actively in devotion to the Lord. One is called a karmi, jnani, yogi, and the fourth one is called bhakta. Right? Bhakta is very qualified to personally see and experience God and a relationship with Him. Bhaktyamam abhijannati. A devotee will be easily able to know and understand God very easily. But name vidu suraganaha. Just because you are occupying good position in this world does not mean you know me. Name vidu. He does not know me. He may occupy a position, but he does not know me. Neither the rishis and sages, they also don't know. They know something about me. They know about my energies, they know how this world operates, they know all these things. Each one is specialized in something. Somebody is specialized in some aspect of it. But everything about me and fully about me, only my devotee knows. This is the secret. And it is very easy to become devotee. Why? Because Krishna is our Supreme Father. And we have natural liking and love for God. If we awaken that natural liking and love for God, we will actually become devotee. And when we become devotee, we will naturally know everything about God. So, anybody who is a karmi, jnani, yogi may not know God so easily. But a bhakta will know God. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is repeatedly saying, become a devotee, all knowledge, everything will be available to you, and you will achieve full success in life. So, real success in life means developing knowledge of Krishna, becoming his devotee. This is education, this is purpose of life, this is successful life. Very simply explained in Bhagavad Gita. But if you think you don't want God, you are very great, you have a very good horoscope, and you are very rich, and you are proud, you may also be arrogant, and you don't care for this thing and all that, then you will die one day, in the next Janma you will become something else. Your life will continue. You will just be, in this lifetime you are at the top of the giant wheel, next lifetime you come down. Life goes on like that for everybody. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. We are born again, we take bodies again, we go through our karma again. Sometimes we are high, sometimes we are low, sometimes we are demigod, sometimes we are pauper, sometimes we are dog, sometimes we are this, pig, whatever it is. In the whole giant wheel of karma, we keep rotating. That fortunate person who contacts a pure devotee of the Lord, by his association gets to know about Krishna, gets to know about Bhakti, and he becomes very fortunate. Becomes very fortunate. That is what everybody should value. Real fortune means being able to meet and associate with a devotee. And by the influence of the devotee, we take up development of God consciousness. We take up Bhakti Yoga. We start performing sadhana. And we get to know about God, get to know about ourselves, we get educated, and we gradually like it so much because Atma is directly attracted to God. And in this way we make progress towards the Supreme Godhead Krishna, then your life is successful. Because this is the purpose of life. This is the purpose of life. So this is explained very simply by Krishna in Bhagavad. Actually, it's not a very great, difficult thing. It's difficult because we have become very materialistic. It becomes simple for simple people. Simple people will immediately understand, yes, I understand. Yes, I understand. Prabhupada told us a story about a very simple man in a village. Small kudumbam, he has got 2 kids and 1 husband. They work hard in the farm. They have their own land. Everybody is there when he like that. And he was simple, doing what the so-called holy man is telling. He was following and he was taking his life. One day, collector came from the king to collect taxes. So everybody has to give so many sacks of rice, so many sacks of wheat, so much of this, so much of that, this. She was collecting. So this person for the first time got exposed to it because till now his father was doing, now he got married and he's doing. So he never bothered us. One day he asked, who are you? He said, I'm collector coming from the king. Oh, you are greater than our panchayat president. He said, yes. I go to many villages, all panchayat president under me. They have to give the collection. Oh, you were greater than panchayat president. Then he went and told the panchayat president, I never knew somebody greater than you is there. I thought I'm serving you, the greatest person. So what do you want? Can I go serve him? Because many panchayat presidents are under him. He said, okay, I'll go. I'll tell him, we want to be with you and serve you. So the collector said, okay, very good. So he served the collector. Collector was going to so many villages and he met so many panchayat presidents. My gosh, you're a really wonderful, great man. I never knew you know so many people. There are so many villages, so many. I did not know this. Wow, such a huge amount. He kept working for a long time without thinking. But then one fine day he asked, where do you take all these things? You take it to your house? No, you hold it. I gave it to the king. Who is king? The king has got so many collectors like me under him collecting the whole kingdom. There are more people like you. I didn't know that. Yeah, just like you saw so many panchayat presidents and you were very surprised and you came to serve me. There are so many me's, so many people like me, so many collectors, all collecting money for this thing and taking. Oh, really? And where do you people go? We go and give it to the king. Who is the king? Okay, come, I'll show you. Come with me. This time when I go. So the big collectors meeting, he met all the collectors. And there was another chief collector collecting everything from them. And then he went with him and this guy, you want to see the king, please allow him. Okay, come. To the king. The king, he, for the first time we saw the king. My gosh, what a palace. My gosh, so many collectors. And then the minister comes, meets all the collectors, take all the produce. He reads it out to the king. And this fellow is shivering. Ooh, king so opulent. So many ministers with him. Under each minister there were so many collectors. This is a very big arrangement. I did not know about this. I was in my small village doing a little something and paying my tax. Broad scope. Everything has become broadened for me. Then he told the chief collector, you are serving him? Yes. Can I directly serve the king? It's a great ambition for me, a great desire for me to serve this king. I'll do anything. So this fellow saw, a very simple fellow. He's not a political man. He just wants to serve the king. Introduced him to the king. Very enthusiastic man. He has come, he warmed, he's very amazed at seeing you and your opulence and your authority and everything, he wants to serve you. So the king said, yeah, meet my manager. He'll put you somewhere. Manager said, be with me for some time and I'll train you up. He got trained into the manager and came to know a lot about the king. Then he told me, I must personally serve the king. I must become the personal servant of the king. So he said, sure, you're a simple man. You're just wanting this. So he made him the personal servant of the king, and the king and he got very intimate. Because he was a very good servant, very obedient, very satisfying to the king. King became very pleased with him and he almost became good friends. Many personal things he discussed. By now this person has become a very advanced man. He knows about the kingdom, he knows about the treasury, he knows how much wives the king has got, whom he has got problem with, whom he doesn't have problem, who are his enemies. He knows many things because everything the king tells him. This person all the time with him, serving him. Very nice, loyal man. One day the king was very distressed, very worried about enemies and about other people and this problem and that problem. So he went to meet his guru in the forest. And he did not take this person, this assistant. He said, he can remain here. Okay. But once, twice, you went into the forest, well, that you don't have to know. Certain things the king keeps very private. One day he followed the king out of his curiosity. He's a very curious fellow. He has come up to this and he cannot follow the king. So he went. He's got rights and he knows everything what to do. He went off there. And he said, the king is going to some small hut, one bearded man sitting there and he's paying namaskar to him. Oh my gosh. Now everything is changed. Such an opulent king sitting on the throne with so much opulence with him. Now he has become nobody in front of him. Then when the king came back, he said, I know where he went. He went and met that bearded man in the forest. He said, how do you know? You followed me? I told you not to come. You see, I am your personal servant. I must know everything about you. He was very convincing in talking also now. He has become very advanced. He convinced the king, I am supposed to help you. You look very worried. You went to meet him and you are crying in front of him. In what way can I help you? And the king slowly started speaking to him. This problem, that spy, that thing, this fellow trying to kill me and take my position, my son is like this happened, that happened. That's all I know. But why did he go to the guru? He said, you come with me the next time. Next time he took this bookman right to the guru. My assistant, sit down here. And he started speaking. Then the guru was telling him, you must worship Krishna, the Supreme Lord. All these problems, you are very attached to material nature. You are attached to your position. Krishna is, he heard about Krishna. And he looked at the king and the guru. And he said, my God, somebody greater than these people are there. Appa, life has become exciting for me. It's not ending. I am discovering newer and newer people behind each one of them. He went and met the guru separately from the king. King is nobody here. There is something greater than him. He went up to the guru and said, what were you telling him about God and all that? He is a nice sadhu. He preached to him and told about God. You must serve God. So I was serving the king. I thought he is the biggest, topmost everybody. No. There are so many kings. There are so many planets. There are so many universes. There are so many. He started explaining, oh my God, I did not know. I must serve that God. I must serve that God. What's the use of life? Please help me to serve it. He said, I will help you. Introduce him to a person to take him, let him take darshan of God. He went. is a story Prabhupada told us. I am telling it in a little more detail. And he went and he was shown beautiful temple and the deity of the Lord. This is God. He is the person who is Krishna, who manifests himself like this. He is everything. And then he decided, I must serve God. I must serve the Lord. And it means it seems he served and served and served until finally Krishna manifested to him personally. Krishna manifested to him personally. In this way, whom we are serving, who we think is great, if you're really inquisitive and if you want to really know, the Bhagavad Gita will lead you just like this man was led to God. So many people we serve in this world because we cannot be without serving. Our nature is to serve. But if we persistently want to know who's behind it, you will land up finally in Krishna. Sarva Karana Karanam. Name Vidu Suragana Ahamadirhi Devanam. I am the source of the demigods, I am source of everything. When you search for the source, you will land up in me finally. Sarva Karana Karanam, the cause of all causes. Beyond me, there is no other cause. Mattaha parataram na anyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. There is no truth above me. There is no cause above me. I am the cause of all causes. This is the definition of God. Now that man, he didn't go and ask God, above you somebody else is there. He didn't have to. He didn't have to. He said, this is it. I am serving the topmost. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna reveals to you that He is that absolute truth. He is the origin of everything. He is the origin. In Bhagavad Gita, He keeps saying that, defining. So the definition of God, sometimes people ask you, who made God? They will ask you this question. Suppose we have a very smart question. Many people, who made God? So actually it's a stupid question. Because if you have really understood God, you cannot ask this question, who made God? Because Krishna is defining himself. Mattaha parataram nanyat. There is no cause beyond me. I am the cause of everything. That's the definition of God. If you know who God is, you will never ask who is above God. Right? If you know what sugar is, you will never ask the question, is sugar sweet? Is sugar sweet? That means you don't know what the sugar is. So if you ask who made God, then you don't know who God is. You're not understood. You're not been educated properly, under a proper guru, under a proper teacher, and you have not studied properly. So speculations, Prabhupada is talking about it. Speculating on who God is, thinking I am God, thinking everything is God. You will have all sorts of philosophies. Pantheism, everything is God. Polytheism, so many gods. I am God. Like that you have all sorts of philosophies. They all will disappear if you actually read Bhagavad Gita properly. You will come to understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is revealing himself in Bhagavad Gita, and there is a science behind understanding. There is a way of understanding, and you will get paka understanding. You will not have any questions anymore. It is not that we will be constantly seeking and seeking and seeking throughout our life. We are not seekers eternally. We should seek in the right place, you will find it, you will stop seeking, that's the end of it. Some people define, we are seekers. What do you mean we are seekers? We are hikers? We keep hiking somewhere and looking for the truth? No. The truth is available in the Bhagavad Gita. You seek it, you will go to a proper guru and he will tell you about Bhagavad Gita and about the truth about it. You have to no more search. You know, in an interview with theologians, you can see the video, Prabhupada is covered by the shawl, he is a little sick, but many theologians in America have come to see him. They are studying God. They open their books, they are writing questions to ask him. So before they ask questions, Prabhupada asked one question. We are all theologians. If they said yes. You are in search of God. Yes. I am telling you, here is God. Why don't you take it? He showed Bhagavad Gita and he said, I am telling you, here is God. Why don't you take it? There is no answer. For a long time, there is no answer. Again, he said, I am telling you, here is God. I am not searching for God. I already found, and I have with me. I can show you God. Will you take it? They are all wondering, what is this man getting? Because if I find God, my profession is over. I can no more be theologian. Business is over. I have to always be a theologian. I should always be searching for God. No. No. That's what the Bhagavatam says. This is the end. Vedanta, end of knowledge, is what is mentioned here. Your search is over. You found it. That is called self-realization. You will actually know, now I know myself. Now I know the truth. Now I know Krishna. I know God. And I've connected. Then you become fully satisfied. Yayatma suprasiddhati. All these things are mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. It is doable. It is a process. If you follow properly in the parampara, in the guru system, and if you take lessons properly and you follow it, execute it, implement it in your life, you will get the result. Just like we get admitted in so-and-so college, which is reputed, you do your medicine, in the end you will become a doctor. If you attend the classes properly, if you study properly, if you ask questions, if you understand properly, you write the examinations, you do all the practical things and everything, you will become a doctor. And there are so many of them coming out, opening clinics and curing people and everything. You see it happening, so you know definitely I can go and become a doctor. Same way, you can actually understand who is God fully, completely. In the 7th chapter, Krishna starts telling, I will show you how you can completely understand. Right? So this is wonderful text. All of you must read Bhagavad Gita every day. And you must think about it. And you must ask questions and you must learn. Your human life will be very successful. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody have any questions? You can ask me. Harish. You can ask the question in any language. In Tamil also okay. Okay. Thank you, Harish. He personally thanked His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj for his wonderful discourse on Bhagavad Gita. Thank you, Harish.
Hare Krishna. Today, Sunday Prashadam sponsored by Nalaini Periswami in memory of her husband Periswami. Today's 30th day of Periswami. இன்று ஞாயிறு பிரசாதம் உபயதாரர்கள் நலாயினி பெரியசாமி அவர்கள் அவருடைய கணவருடைய 13ஆம் நாள் நினைவாக இன்று பிரசாதம் உபயதாரர்கள்